Let's see. Okay, I think things should be set up correctly. Just need to move them a little closer. Cool. Okay, so today's tea time is probably going to be a little shorter than usual, but for today's tea, we're doing... Oh man, this is difficult to align. We're doing Jane's Garden from Harney & Sons. Honestly, I just bought it because this packaging is super pretty. I love the floral design on it, and it said green tea and roses, so I knew I had to have it. Yeah, we're gonna do a lunchtime tea time today, and I lost my pen. No, I didn't. There it is. Let's go ahead and start filling out today's journal. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually drank a bit of this tea last night with my dinner since I was anticipating doing this yesterday, and I had some extra made for later. So I have a general idea of what to expect, but I don't know, I think the way I brewed this one was a little different than usual. I tried to be more exact with how long we let the tea brew and whatnot. Let's see. There we go. So the tea this time is Jane's Garden. Let's go ahead and fill out these pieces of information. That's what they're called, information, yeah. The merchant is Harney and Sons. Completely unsurprisingly. I feel like we always do Harneys. Actually, that's not true. It's been a while since we've done Harneys, so I feel a little okay about that. Welcome in, Arya. How are you doing today? How is work treating you? What is today's date? We're sampling this on the 6th of November. Happy to have you. I am so sleepy today, by the way. Like, I know no one's asking, are you sleepy today, Taiyou? The answer is yes. Yes, I am sleepy today. The price for this was like around $10. It's kind of expensive for the amount of tea that you get, I guess, because like Harney does have some teas where it's like 30 sachets for like $7 or $8, but I don't think that the price difference is so drastic that it should dissuade you from trying this tea. Plus, from what I understand, when you buy this tea and you drink it, some of the proceeds go to breast cancer awareness, research and development support. Yeah, just ate a what kind of hot pocket? What is your most favorite kind of hot pocket? There are correct answers. Oh my gosh, my eyes hurt from being... I was like super locked in at work today trying to fix an issue that's been ongoing for like 2 months now, and I feel like I am only just now catching my breath and decompressing. Today's tea type is green. Other rose. I can't fit the word pomegranate here. Usually meatballs. They have meatball hot pocket? What the heck? A pizza hot pocket is really good though. Pizza hot pockets are among the greatest of all time. I actually really like the breakfast hot pockets too. The ones that come with like egg, cheese, whatever else they stuff in there. Just hot pockets are so good. I don't know if they're good for you, but they're very good. Okay, we had 2 sachets, so that's about 3.2 ounces. 3.2 ounces. The water volume, 1 pot. Ham and cheese hot pockets are nasty. Whoa. You're gonna have to take that opinion back because that was not correct. Like, I don't think ham and cheese hot pockets are the best ones, but like, listen, you have little Jimmy coming over for a play date, okay? Imagine you're like 5 years old. Mom's gonna make ham and cheese hot pocket, and you guys are gonna be like, wow, these are the greatest things on earth, as you burn your tongues off and can't taste anything. That is the ideal situation for eating a hot pocket, as you scorch your mouth and a hot pockets tier list. I am thinking I kind of want to do a tier list on Saturday for the anniversary stream. I don't know What tier list? It needs to be something that is relatable by the masses, unfortunately. I can't just do like super niche things, but I think Hot Pockets could be fun. Did we do a Gatorade tier list? I feel like we tried to do a Gatorade tier list once upon a time. H2O temperature. This was like 190, 200. I made sure to not overcook it. I wanted to make sure that I did not burn this tea because I was very particular about the fact that like this tea just looks fancy. I needed to be fancy with how I made it. I don't remember a Gatorade one. Well, Aria, you also fall asleep within 5 minutes of showing up to stream. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. Kind of. So, sometimes I'm joking. All right, when are we gonna play Marvel Rivals? Brew time was about 4 minutes to give it a little bit of extra flavor. Steep number 1! Exclamation point. Today, I am using basically a shot glass for sake. Yeah. I want to have my tea not instantly go away. I want to have the tea last a little bit longer, which I think is at odds with the fact that I have to do this somewhat quickly since it's my lunch break right now. Whenever. Don't you whenever me. I just asked you yesterday, hey, after I'm done streaming, which yesterday's stream went on for very long. I did not intend for that to happen. I was like, do you want to do Marvel Rivals? And you're like, no. I understand. You're busy. It's fine. You have a life or whatever, maybe. I don't know why I'm giving you so much grief. Sometimes it's just what I gotta do. I already spilled my tea. I didn't ask you. I absolutely asked you. And you're like, oh, I'm working on art. I'm being an artist. I'm being productive in life. And I was like, that is true. I cannot deny that you are an artistic genius. Okay. First sip of a properly made Jane's Garden by Harney and Sons. Oh, well, yeah, although, like... Oh, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you did ask me. That is true, Taiyou. However, there is no however. Oh, wow, this tea is very smooth. Like, I didn't brew it as carefully for my personal cup that I drank. And it was still pretty smooth, but now that I brewed it, like, the correct amount of time and the correct temperature, holy moly, the smoothness on this, immaculate. I would have played regardless. In that case, maybe we can play some Marvel today. The taste is not super heavy. In fact, I would say this is a very light tea, all things considered, which, honestly, considering the packaging of this tea, I would not think that this would be a heavy tea, so yeah, that makes sense to me. Let's go ahead and start filling this out. I don't really taste the pomegranate. When I brewed the tea for longer last night, there definitely was like a slightly bitter, fruity taste, which I think was the pomegranate, so like, let's fill that out. When brewed at box settings, the fruit isn't noticeable. Stat face. Very smooth, low body, but refreshing. I think this tea is really nice for like a summer tea, TBH, like on a hot summer day. Okay, those are my current thoughts. What else do we have here? I wish there was like, I mean, I would suppose that body would partially describe the smoothness of it, but I also consider the body like how much like oomph does it have? How much flavor does it have? That could also go under savory, I suppose. There is no aftertaste of this. It just goes down, which is fine. I have no issue with that. Let me sniff the tea to see how much aroma it has. It really doesn't have any. This is such a peculiar tea. I feel like we're used to drinking such strong tea, or like I try to make the tea stronger since I like stronger flavors when I drink tea. But yeah, I'll give this a 1. Or not a 1, a 0. I'm gonna sniff the inside of the package. I don't really like that smell. I just am not really a pomegranate kind of person to begin with, so that's probably part of the issue. And it's like not even actual pomegranate, it's just like pomegranate flavor. I understand that Harney probably wouldn't be able to make money doing this, but I really wish they would use actual fruit pieces rather than just the flavoring of the fruit. But I mean, for the price you pay with Harney, I understand why they can't. It's just unfortunate. Cause like, with how premium the packaging for Harney is, you almost get the illusion that you're gonna get that same amount of premium ingredients. But that is what it is, you know, for $10, this is definitely like a nice tea to just have with someone. Like, I think I always say that about Harney, and I'm gonna say it again in the future, but Harney is such a nice tea to share with somebody. You get that experience of having like afternoon tea or like high tea by sharing it with somebody else and like make a meal with it. But it doesn't break the bank, which is nice. The wild berry tea, the one that we did the community tea for, right? It was super sweet. Like, even without any sweetener whatsoever, it still has like enough sweetener for you to be like, whoa, that's crazy. And like, just all the fruit that's added to it gives it a very juice-like feeling. There's no berries, right? I think pomegranate, I'm gonna say pomegranate is a stone fruit because I don't know any better. It's like definitely there, but only if you brew the tea for longer. And at that point, I don't know. Like, I want to say it's a 2 when I go out of my way to make it stand out. But if I don't, it's like a 1. I'm gonna do a 1 for now just because I'm gonna do it for how this particular pot is brewed and how most people would brew it. But you can definitely get more of the fruit flavor out of this by brewing it for longer. In terms of florals, it does have rose petals, supposedly. So I would imagine... I'm trying to distinguish. Is that actually like a floralish taste, or is that just the taste of the pomegranate and green tea? The rose petal quantity is probably pretty low. It's like the last item on the list of ingredients, so quantitatively it is the least amount of whatever in this tea. I'm just trying to figure out, is there enough for it to actually stand out, and like, not really. Like, if you want a green tea with no frills, something really smooth and easy to drink, I think this tea would be ideal. Like, I don't want to call it like a I don't want to call it like a wet blanket kind of tea, but like, if you like your tea to be very to the point, just tea with maybe a little bit of something to spice it up, this tea is that. Like, if you don't like having flavored teas necessarily, the flavoring that's added to the tea is not strong enough to really be part of it, other than like for advertisement's sake. I don't really think it stands out enough for it to like distract from the tea itself. Right, for florals, I'll give it a 1. Like, it has that smoothness of having florals, but I don't really think it's that strong. Cat in a box. Cat in a box. What is it, little cat in a box? What is it that you're trying to say? Oh my god, I was watching Squidneys play Marvel Rivals on stream. They play ranked, and I guess they're like in Diamond. And it is crazy how sweaty like the upper ranks of Marvel gets. I was like, you know what? I think I'm happy just being a little monkey that runs in as magic and swings. They play Jeff too. They were playing Jeff. I don't know if that's their main. I didn't stick around for too long. I had stuff to do, but they were playing Jeffy Jeff, and they always play Jeffy Jeff whenever I'm there, so I assume it must be Jeffy Jeff. Maybe you could ask them next time they stop by. Just out of the blue. Hey, by the way, I heard you play Marvels. Can you tell me who you main? And they're gonna be like, what the hell is happening? And I'm gonna give it like a 1 for herbal and grassy. Like, Because the green tea is the main thing I taste and like the main aspect of this tea, I think it makes sense that the herbal slash grassiness of it is gonna be just as strong as, I don't know. I don't really think it's that strong in that direction either, but I do taste like an herbal grassiness to it because of the green tea. And the other flavors are not enough to cover up that grassiness. Yeah, this definitely just, it stays very true to what tea should be. I wonder if like the reason I'm giving this such low ratings on the different flavors is because I'm so accustomed to our usual teas being much stronger from having deeper brews. This is definitely not spicy. I don't know, I'm like, maybe if you think pomegranate is yummy and sweet, you might find it sweet. I don't really think pomegranate's sweet. I think if anything, pomegranate is slightly bitter. Like, it doesn't really have that sweetness to me. I wouldn't call it sweet at least, so I'm gonna give that a 0. Malty, definitely not. Vegetal. What did I call it, vegetal? I mean, because of the slight bitterness, I also didn't sweeten this tea today. I thought we should just try it as it is. I like pomegranate as a concept. What does that mean? When you remove those words from the sentence that they're in and you distill that idea to its truest essence, what are you saying? What does that mean? I almost want to say it's vegetal because I'm thinking about the grassiness. Like, subconsciously I associate grassy and herbalness with vegetables because they're all just green to me. They all have like that green flavor. Like the actual fruit is yucky. Isn't it a pretty fruit though? Like the color of it's really nice and stuff. I feel like people, you know what? I feel like people say I like pomegranate and they mean I like the way pomegranate looks and the color of pomegranate, but I never see them actually eat pomegranate. Is that what you mean? I'll give it, that's not, I'm not going to give it a 1 in vegetal. Like, I'm just associating grassy and herbalness with veggies. Savory. I mean, it's slightly savory if you let it cook a little longer. I mean, even as it is, like, it's a bunch of balls. B-A, the daily dog, D-A-W. I cannot stop thinking about the daily dog. And the fact that somebody gave them a subscription to the Twitch channel. That's so funny. I think it's a 1 on savory. It definitely has like that bit of flavor to it. It's not super strong. I could honestly say it's a little earthy too. That's something that makes sense to me. I didn't know pomegranate was a bunch of balls. B-A-W-L-S. Chocolatey. No, not even a little. Woody? Not really. Smoky and roasty? Not really. Tannic. TBH? I think that tannic might be the highest rating on this tea. Like between the pomegranate and just the earthiness of the green tea leaves. It's unlisted? Whoa. Wait a second, that's not right. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Unlisted stream is evil. You know what? I was making the stream while I was in a work meeting, and I remember noticing a little pop-up that said, by default, all streams are now unlisted when you create them. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's great. I can just set it to public once I'm ready to go live. I did not do that. I did not do that. That's crazy. I think the issue was there were streamers who were setting up, first of all, welcome in, Mike. Happy to have you. There are people who were setting up streams because, like, to set a vertical stream, to do it on your desktop, you have to do it through your phone first. And if you don't actually click the right settings, you can just randomly start streaming your face and dox yourself. If you're a VTuber, I guess. So I'm not gonna say that's why they did it, but like I'm sure plenty of people have accidentally started live streams when they didn't mean to. So I guess they just switched it to unlisted by default, and I just didn't catch it. Thank you so much for letting me know. By the way, I had no idea that was the case. Welcome in, Halen. Hi, happy to have you. Hi, Aoya. Hi, Taiyou. I didn't see the stream, so I thought, no, see, no. And no, I'm just dumb. Work has been so giga brutal today. Not even today, like this year. It's just been culminating for Taiyou crashing out, or like, not subconsciously, behind the scenes for the past few weeks, so. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like definitely doing my best to hold it together, but it doesn't always work, you know? Point. It's maybe. Please. No. How am I today? I put out one dumpster fire at work today, so that was pretty nice, you know? I'm pretty happy about that. I'm very tired. Very tired. But yeah, we're trying a new tea, so that's always a fun experience. I actually tried this tea a little bit yesterday. Today's brew is different than the brew from yesterday. So it's very interesting experiencing the same tea in different ways. Welcome in, Nick. Happy to have you. I'm drinking Taiyou Vtuber. Earl Grey. Milk does not corrupt it. Milk, in fact, is usually a buff for most teas. The problem is, milk gives me a tummy ache. And I feel like it would be disingenuous to do tea reviews and then be like, actually, we're adding milk. Because then it's going to be like, okay, what I'm really reviewing is milk makes everything better. And I don't need to tell people that. People don't need to watch a stream and be like, oh yeah, milk makes this better. We know, Taiyou. We'll find them. But yeah, this is one of the first teas in a while that we've made, what's it called? At box settings. So usually I brew the tea a little longer and a little hotter to make this flavor a bit stronger. But I felt like that might not be the most proper representation of the tea. So this time around, we brewed it at box settings, so just under boiling for 4 minutes. And yeah. Today's tea is, let me show you guys actually, because you guys are starting to show up now. I just hit the, why is it's not autofocusing anymore. You guys showed up and now the camera's being shy. Oh my god. Welcome in, Sky, how are you doing? How was work today? Small cup, big Taiyou hand, or big cup, small Taiyou hand? Both. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. How did I do it before? Is it lined up with this? Please. All I want to do is show them a nice thing. It was doing it earlier. Aria, you were here earlier. Let them know. It was working. Okay, we're gonna go. There we go. Yeah. So the packaging on this tea, super pretty. So I was like, this packaging is pretty, it's elegant. I feel like I have an obligation to brew it correctly. So today we did. I will say this tea, it's a pomegranate green tea with some rose petals. The pomegranate is not doing it very many favors. And the rose petal quantity is like not high enough to really make me feel like it's a rose tea. So it's not bad. It's not like a bad tea per se. Like the fruit isn't very noticeable if you don't brew it a little longer. So it does add a little bit of like an undertone to it, which is fine. It's a little bitter. It's a little tannic, if you will, but it's not the worst thing. And the rose just doesn't really stand out. I feel like they added rose petals so they can advertise this tea with a bunch of flowers on the packaging. Because, like, I will admit, this packaging is beautiful, but, you know, I just wish there was more floral to it. Trying to draw your shoes. The checkered pattern is killing me. I don't know why I thought you said you're trying to draw my toes. And I was gonna say, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. There is truly nothing inherently wrong with that statement. It's just like one of those things that I'll leave that to you, to your discretion to keep to yourself. But yeah, I don't know. This tea, I think, is a really nice high tea. So like if you're eating little sliced sandwiches that are all cute and pretty with little snacks and cakes and stuff, this tea would be great for that because it's very smooth, it's very low body, it's very light tea. I would honestly say it stays pretty close to the pure green tea experience, just with a little splash of extra flavor. But like as a dessert tea or like a treat kind of tea, treats? No treats. Treats? No treats. Aww. As like a treat, I wouldn't really say this is like a, good job today kind of tea. That fruit is 90% seed. Just gonna say something. I'm gonna keep that comment to myself. Let's see. Let's finish up the wheel. I will say probably the strongest flavor on the flavor wheel is going to be tannic, because somebody told me that means bitter, and this tea has that bitterness. Body very low. Linger and finish not very high. The aroma, I tried sniffing it. It was very low. I guess the question now is the balance. Like, so the amount of flavor you get per sip versus how smooth the tea is. It almost goes down like water. There is so little body to it that it just, you take a sip and it's already like going down your throat before you can even like taste the tea properly. Which isn't a bad thing. I know some people like the smoother teas. But because of that, there isn't really very much flavor to glean from it. Also, for the people who are emotionally invested in it, I did spill the first pour, as usual. I had been doing pretty good about that recently. I had been avoiding spilling the tea. Very smooth, low body. I put refreshing when I took my first sip, and I don't think that it isn't refreshing. I do think that pomegranate and the bitterness of this tea, without any sweetness to offset it, I don't know if I could drink an entire pot of this for fun. I could do like a cup, maybe, but like an entire pot of this tea with how kind of bitter it is, that's a tall order. Welcome in, Chicha. How are you doing today? I don't know. Like, I also didn't add any sweetener to it, so maybe that's part of why I'm like, bleh, bleh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Because usually for most of our teas, I add 1 sugar cube to it. But today, I want it to be elegant and refined. For the balance, I think the body to like smoothness ratio is pretty good. Like, I think the amount of flavor you get for how much body it has is actually very in line with each other. That's what I usually use my balance metric, so I'll give it a 2. This is probably one of our, like, the flavor wheel on this one is very small. I don't think any of the flavors are particularly strong. Just the tannic aspect of the tea, the bitterness, and the ratio of body to flavor is pretty decent. So this one is actually like very low aroma too, which is I think that's pretty telling that the tea is not going to have a lot of flavor. Usually, I'm not going to say like scent is directly correlated to flavor, but there is some correlation, I would say, right? Because like if you try eating something without being able to smell it, you don't taste it as well. So I think that applies to tea as well. Although tea doesn't really have that strong of a flavor of a scent to begin with. But even when I took off the lid from the packaging of the tin for the tea, I didn't smell too much tea. Like, it didn't have that strong of a scent. It was there, but like, just very basic green tea-ish scent. Yeah, it's like the scent of green tea, which is a kind of you know, kind of earthy, grassy, and then the scent of pomegranate, which I'm not loving very much. When smelling, you can't smell rose. Angry face. Yoki Yoki, welcome in. Hello, hello. How's the tea? Honestly, I think the packaging is the best part. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with this tea. It's just like pomegranate's not very sweet. I'm kind of realizing it's a little bitter. And with how pretty the packaging is, I had much higher hopes for it, you know? And I think I bought this tea. I'm thinking back to when I bought it. I bought it because one, it's just pretty, and two, I like rose. I really like rose in my tea, so I was like, okay, it's got two things going for it, and I've never tried a pomegranate tea, so why not? I now know why not. I now know why not. I don't know. I think if you gave this to like like a grandma or like a mom, they would be fine with it. Old people don't like sweet stuff or whatever. They would be okay with it. I like sweet stuff though. I am not so okay with the lack of sweetness. Maybe with sugar, this tea would be fine to offset how bitter it is, but at face value, what is like the best tea I've ever tasted? In Tokyo, in Ginza, there is a little like in-person cafe, a high tea restaurant for mariage for I can't say this word, Ferreres, and I got a sampler set from them. I just tried a bunch of different teas, and a lot of their white teas and green teas were so good. However, I feel like if I made those teas myself, they would not taste as good. Probably because they know how to brew tea better than I do. So, in terms of the best I've ever had, it was the teas I had there by them. However, I'm sure I've had plenty of teas where if I was better at brewing the tea, they probably would have competed with those teas, you know? And then there's a local tea shop here. They have a green-white tea mix that includes some strawberries in it. That one is pretty good too. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. They have a couple of other ones that are like just flavored teas, green teas mixed with a bunch of fruits and stuff, or flowers. Those are pretty nice. There's a jasmine tea at a local coffee shop here, actually. They have it's pretty good too. I don't know if I would say it's one of my favorites, but I get it pretty often. They can, okay, I think they probably have better, like, what's it called, the thing that you use to boil tea? Whatever that's called. It's just a teapot, right? They probably have better teapots for, you know, kettle? They probably have a better kettle than me in terms of the quality of the kettle. They probably are better at knowing when to put the tea bags in and take the tea bags out, stuff like that. All of those little things accumulate to form how you taste the tea, you know? So they're probably just better than me at that. Green teas are very, I feel like green tea is like a good way to start trying tea. And if you think green tea is too bitter, you try white tea. If you think that green tea isn't strong enough, you go to oolong and then black tea. And you kind of just, you know, back and forth and figure out what you want in life. There was actually a matcha cafe in Kyoto, they had very good tea as well. Their matcha teas were very yummy. They also had like matcha pastries and stuff too, of course, and that was very good as well. But I'm not really a matcha. Like, I like matcha. I just would never say matcha is my favorite. Like, not in a bad way. It's just not my favorite. I was really hoping this would be more rosy and more floral, though. Like, in a way, the flavor of the pomegranate and the grassiness of the green tea they used for this mix, it just gives me like a vegetable-ish feeling. Like, I feel like I'm eating veggies and fruits that my mom put on the table for me and said, Taiyou, you have to eat this or you can't get up from the table. You know, parents do that. Like, they'll give you a mountain of food and they'll be like, you can't leave the table until you eat all of this. And like, you get way too full and you're like, I don't want any more. And then they're like, well, there are kids starving in these countries and you should be grateful. And it's just like, I didn't serve myself this food. You did this. Why would you do this to me and then gaslight me? That's messed up, dude. It's just straight up grass. Well, I mean, there's no, well, tea leaves are kind of, I don't know, it depends. Like, some tea leaves do have more of like a grassy flavor and texture. Because like, depending on where you source your green tea leaves or your tea leaves in general, it could have more of an earthy tone, more of like a grassy tone. Like, there are different tones to the tea. The tea leaves that they use for this one definitely has like more of a grassy, like vegetal feel. Honestly, I'm gonna bump up the vegetal because like, the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm like, I was just trying to make the wheel pretty. It definitely has like a vegetal feel. I never tried matcha. I would recommend it. If you can find a nice place that actually makes... Do not base your opinions on matcha based on Starbucks. That is not fair to matcha. Matcha deserves better. But if you can find a place that makes matcha, like, somewhat legit, it's worth trying. Strawberry tea is very yummy, like. And Yoki, I would definitely recommend trying it. Like, I think most teas are worth trying. Most. Those words bring back memories. I'm sorry. It's just like, why did you serve me this much? I could just ask for seconds, it's fine. You don't have to give me the entire pot of like macaroni and cheese. Actually, an entire pot of macaroni and cheese, that would have been fine. It's more like when they give you like a pot of broccoli and Brussels sprouts and I'm just like, this couldn't be macaroni and cheese. You can afford all these Brussels sprouts? Eat this fish or so. I will eat that fish. That fish is mine. It's on site. Absolutely. Do you guys... Broccoli is yum. Broccoli is okay. As I've gotten older, I accept broccoli. I will never accept Brussels sprouts. Nor will I accept green peas. Green peas are pretty disgusting. Pretty vile. Anyway, let's go ahead and give this here a rating. It's like a 2.5. Like, I think I almost gave it a 3. But I have to acknowledge, I want to give it that extra half star because the packaging is nice. +1 for packaging. Cheesy broccoli. I don't know. I don't feel like broccoli needs cheese. Like, cheesy broccoli is delicious, but that's because cheese is delicious. You could put cheese on most vegetables and make them better. Green peas are delicious. Green peas are pea. They're just pea. Broccoli. So, broccoli tayo. I will say, Broccoli made a Beyblade video game for the Game Boy Advance that I got as a hand-me-down. It was a very fun game. It's only in Japanese, but it was very fun. I had no idea what was happening. I like my broccoli a little bit charred. Yeah, it gives it like that little bit of crunchy texture, right? Here is today's notes. 2.5 plus 1 extra star for being pretty on the packaging. The flavor wheel is a little bit of a mess, but I think the more we talked about it and talked it through, the more I was convinced, like, you know what? Let's give it a little bit of extra points here and there. So, I don't know. If you don't like sweet teas, or if you're like a grandma and or grandpa, and you like more earthy, down to earth, I don't know how to put it, like, if you don't like having fun with your drinks and you just want something very mature, quote unquote, the tea is fine. If you like sweeter things in life and actually enjoy, you know, drinking what you're drinking, I don't know if I would recommend this. It's a fine tea for, like, you know, let's say you're having a sandwich with a friend or whatever, you know, you're just having a little lunch date with somebody. This tea is fine for that. It won't be so sweet that it gets in the way of your food. It'll still have that tea flavor, but like it's not really distracting or disturbing. I would not serve this as like a, you know, like a tea party kind of tea. This is more of like a meal kind of tea. As you're eating like skewered chicken with some veggies, or like a nice little sandwich with some friends. It's not bad. This is like izakaya tea in a way. Honestly, I think izakaya tea, like just the green tea and oolong tea they serve at izakayas, is a little bit less bitter than this. I think if anything, the thing that's holding this tea back the most is probably the pomegranate. It's me, I'm the grandpa who likes dessert and the tea. Okay, grandpa. I don't know why I gave you that accent. Thank you for the hearts, by the way. Cute. Yeah. So I actually wanted to ask you, do you guys prefer if I use a small cup so I don't just destroy the tea before we're done with everything, or do you guys like it when I drink the tea faster? I don't know if that even matters to you guys. I just thought if I use a smaller cup, I won't inhale the tea, which means we'll have more time to savor it. Which for most other teas, I would be stoked about that. But since I don't really like the pomegranate on this tea, I'm not as stoked about it this time. Whew. I can't believe this stream spent like half the time that it's been live as unlisted. That's so crazy. There is somebody in my friends list on Steam and I have no idea who it is. They just went online, I guess. And their username is so out of pocket. I'm not gonna say it because I don't know if that would be a dox in a way, but it's just like, whoa, who is that? Anyway, thank you guys for joining me for a tea time today. Next stream will be on Saturday around 8 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Japanese Standard Time on Sunday. We're going to be doing our 3rd anniversary. Yippee. I have a couple of announcements for you guys, and yeah, we'll do a little bit of ASMR, and then on Sunday we'll do a 4-hour ASMR. Sunday's ASMR will be, half of it will be soju drinking and just chit-chatting, and that'll go however it goes. I'm debating if for the first half of the ASMR, maybe we'll do like some hand cam ASMR. I don't know. IDK. Do I want to pull back the curtains and show you guys how the ASMR is made? That is the real question. But yeah, we'll be doing a lot of ASMR this weekend, so for those who just want, it looks like the coaster is perfectly in his hand. For those who like ASMR and just chit-chatting, we'll be doing that. On Saturday, maybe we'll do a tier list. I like doing tier lists with you guys. Waiting for the ASMR, or the anniversary ASMR stream, where Taiyou cosplays Taiyou as he does ASMR. I will not make my comments, but I will make a comment on Saturday. There may be some thoughts and statements on that, sure. Mayhaps. Cosplay da yo. Speaking of cosplay, I have my cosplay that I want to do all here, other than the wig. Like, I know this comes up every time when I talk about cosplay, but like so much of it is here, and I'm just like, I'm in agony about the fact that I had to figure out this wig thing. I DM'd somebody on Etsy about it, and they just never replied, so like I have to look for another person now, so I have to do that, like maybe later this month. Like once all the anniversary stuff is wrapped up and I'm not as like... Basically, I've been running around on the internet for 3 or 4 months just getting all the anniversary stuff wrapped up on time. It's not even on time, we're a month late, but I've just been so busy with that. I haven't had the time to properly prep more projects, but once this is done, I have 2 or 3 projects I want to do for you guys, so yeah, we'll have stuff coming soon. But I'll try to speak more about that on the anniversary stream, give you guys more like details and things like that. Some of them don't really have very many details because they're so early in the stages of the project, but I hope you guys will like it anyway. I will say, the color of this tea, I don't really talk on color too much, but this tea has like such a very gentle color, if that makes sense. Like it's a very light greenish yellow, and it's very pretty. You can't really tell because it's a black cup, but yeah, the color for how the brew came out this time, I'm a big fan. I don't really like when the tea gets too yellow or like too saturated. That usually means the tea is pretty burnt, and I have burnt it a few times, but yeah, the softness of the color was it's very pretty. Very pretty. I like the way it caught in the light. Okay, I have to wrap up in like 4 minutes, so I have to get back to work. Thank you guys for spending time with me. This was fun. It's fun to do like little middle of the day streams because it just gives me a break from work, so I appreciate you guys coming through. I wish the tea had been better, but it's pretty. It's pretty, so I can't fault it too much. With that, I will see you guys on Saturday for the anniversary. I am hoping you guys will be very happy about it. Because I put a lot of... I don't want to say I put a lot of work into it, because I feel like I'm just tooting my own horn at that point, but I deserve a toot or two, okay? I deserve a toot. And I deserve the daily dog. I'm gonna look at him when I get back from work and be like, yeah, that's my daily dog. Thanks for the break stream, of course. Thank you guys for hanging out. We actually ended up going a little bit longer than I intended, but that's okay. If it's with you guys, I don't mind. Soredewa kyomo arigato. With that, thank you guys for today as usual. Have a nice day. Otsu taiyo. Good job so far today, everyone. Not to hiccup. What? Alright. Snap, 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 snap. Back to work. Back to work. Go, 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 go. Everybody, back to work. Especially me, unfortunately. Otsu pomegranate. Mata ne. Bye. Bye. Ooh, ah. Ooh.